This was the first day the Midwest Innocence Project got to wrap their arms around John Brown as a free man.
Excuse me. God bless you.
Their client, Brown, was wrongfully convicted of the 1988 rape and murder of a 78-year-old woman in her Fordyce home. In 2015, a co-defendant in the case confessed to robbing, raping, and murdering the victim, all on his own. After serving 26 years in prison, Brown's life sentence was overturned, and in 2018, he was finally free.
Even if people are not represented by a public defender, they often are working with lawyers who are not able, because the client doesn't have the means, to afford to retain the resources to independent experts, to track down as many leads, to do as many tests, to examine as much evidence. It does matter.
As a Pulaski County judge, Wendell Griffen is greatly concerned by wrongful convictions.
It is troubling, and it should trouble not only judges but all of us.
He agreed to a sit-down interview to help us better understand how they happen.
Let me remind everyone that law is a human business, and humans are imperfect.
It was a topic I explored in 2016 when I spoke with Professor Joshua Silverstein at Bowen School of Law about the systemic problems that often lead to wrongful convictions.
And humans are flawed, and so there are always going to be mistakes in the legal system.
The unconscious ways that we reach decisions affects our memory, affects our perception, and affects the judgments we place on what we think we perceive.
Judge Griffen and others in the local legal community have begun actively working to correct the habit of unconscious bias. He explains how quarterly, every panel of jurors who comes into Griffen's chambers for court sits through an orientation, part of which includes a session on unconscious bias.
There are a lot of Faye Jacobs still behind bars. So my heart grieves for those that, don't have the innocent projects to help them.
Faye Jacobs spent 26 years in prison for a murder she says she didn't do. A year and a half after being released from prison, she's now advocating for the Midwest Innocence Project. Robbed of her youth, Faye is more motivated than ever by her own story behind bars to help others who are still fighting for their freedom.
I'm excited in spite of a conviction still over my head. I'm still excited, I'm happy.